welcome to another episode of New Paradigm. I am Samuell Benta, inspiring interviews with inspiring people to inspire others. And today's positive quote is, stop looking for happiness in the same place that you lost it. That would make sense now, wouldn't it? Okay. Now, I am with two amazing individuals, and they have been following a path of positivity since February 2014, when they won the Wandsworth Young Performer of the Year Award. And these two guys, they're all about positivity, upliftment, youth empowerment and education, spirituality, black history, the political system, permaculture, hip-hop culture, youth culture and ecology, and probably a whole lot more. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to welcome you to Maverick and Malachi. Guys, welcome. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for coming here.
Thank you so much.
Now, I remember meeting you guys probably just over a year ago, and you guys were sitting in the audience, and I remember I was doing a talk, and then when they called for you to go up, I was blown away. And when I say I was blown away, it was the lyrical content that came out of your mouths, and you guys are a very young age, and I thought to myself, this type of information is not your average youth talk. This information was like beyond mindset. I mean, like, this is what we call new paradigm thinking. And these two individuals in front of me, these guys are just, you guys are leaders. You are leaders. You are leading a new movement in terms of your music, which is very important because, as you know, with hip-hop, there's a lot of misinformation. So I just want to know from you guys, what do you think of hip-hop as it is today?
I think hip-hop is different to everyone, you know. Hip-hop to me might be something different, you know, something different to you. But hip-hop means to me something creative, it's an expressional, it's something expressive, you know, to really be yourself. Something like dancing, rapping, or beatboxing, it's a form of expression. And I think hip-hop nowadays is used to limit people instead of empowering them. When I think originally hip-hop was about, you know, sharing ideas, like sharing knowledge, uplifting people for, you know, for a better place, you know, to live somewhere where there's, you know, more uplifting for their children, you know, a safer place to live, you know, trying to create good things. I think hip-hop now, the word, like I was saying, it will mean something different to me than it will to you. It's used loosely. You know, to some person it might mean negative music. It might mean something that creates negativity. To someone like me, it means something that unites people and brings people together who might not have been able to meet otherwise. But to me, hip-hop, if the question is what is hip-hop today?
The essence of it, we know.
Yeah, the essence is still there. I think the essence will never die, which is, you know, love, unity, and, you know, sharing knowledge, you know, which I really think it is. But now it seems to be more about degrading people and making people feel less of themselves. You know, more about materialistic things and about, you know, what's on the outside instead of what's on the inside.
See, it's interesting when you ask them that question, this is the type of answer you get. And if you was to ask that to the average individual out there, they'll probably say something quite negative, like, they'll just be like, oh, alcohol or guns, drugs, big booty women, stuff like that. So it's interesting. So where does hip-hop psychology come into this with you guys?
Well, we were doing a project about hip-hop psychology and, you know, about what influence it may have an effect, mainly on young people, but on people in general. And we were just, we'd go into meetings every week and there was a sort of a community of us.
We meet different psychologists and talking about basically the effect that not just hip-hop but music, you know, has on the mind, you know. It was called hip-hop psychology to kind of influence other young people to try and come along. But it seemed to be me and Malachi who were sort of the main kind of facilitators on that, I guess. We really wanted to find out, you know, what people thought about music and how that affects the mind. You know, we don't realise what we listen to really influences our everyday situation, you know, without even realising the music that we listen to on the radio every day. They don't play it to us for no reason, you know. It does, you know, crazy things to you. If you watch the music videos, every 30 seconds there's another advertisement for some sort of other brand. And it's very casual without you realising. And, you know, it, as well as selling a brand, it sells a lifestyle, which makes you buy into that and really, again, detaches you from yourself. You know, it's about wanting to be something else, which is it's not what life's about, you know. We're really here to find who we are on the inside, you know. We're going for ages.
I think we're really touching on some serious new paradigm stuff right about now. And this also ties into this research project involving you guys in terms of educational repair. I think there's something that ties in with that. Could you just elaborate further on what that is all about?
Yeah, we were working with a friend of ours called Krezi Shaddai, he's a journalist basically. He writes for different newspapers talking about sort of black rights and things for young people, and he had a project at UCL which is called Educational Repair, where we were looking at the educational system and seeing, you know, what is being taught to young people and why we're learning it. Also touching on black reparations and things to do with, you know, black people's rights in their past and things that may not have been spoken about. You know, loads of different opinions, but basically we were trying to see what the root of education is and see who education is for. Is it for me or is it for the powers that be?
Because I do know there's another project with that same teacher, right, which is called Why Is My Curriculum White? Now, that's a very out there statement, and don't get me wrong, I can definitely see where that falls into place due to like my upbringing and stuff that I've been studying and moving into this whole new paradigm and new way of thinking. And if you could just talk to me a little bit about that, that would be great.
Well, you know, I agree with you. That's a strong statement to make. But again, it's touching on those reparation sort of, you know, those facts there, which I need to know more about. But what I do know is that it's, you know, it's what we are being taught in the UK, for example, is only of benefit to a certain type of people. I'm not putting labels on anything. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, again, it's about education. Again, it's about what are we learning, who are we learning, what are we learning for. I think, again, that name was to really push the boat out there and get people to think. You know, if anything, that course actually got shut down by UCL.
Yeah, isn't it funny?
They cut the funding.
I've noticed it as well. Like, not even just with stuff like that. Lots of African or black type of businesses to do with like cream products or even certain types of clothing. I do remember in Tottenham Court Road there was a shop. I can't remember the name of it, but it got shut down because it was all about black products and black this and black that. And it's very, very sad that a lot of those things get shut down. And it goes back to what you were talking about in terms of, you know, what is education? Because that I can reference and talk about myself there, because everything I learned in school did me a certain degree of good, but learning about Henry VIII has not helped me do what I've been doing today. And it didn't really cause me any benefit. So me, myself personally, and a lot of people who are probably watching this program right now, because there are no accidents, you're watching this, you have learned more outside of school. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. You're learning more outside of school now. Otherwise, you wouldn't even be watching a show like this. The show is called New Paradigm. And with New Paradigm, we're all about thinking in a different way, and we're attracting new information to us from higher sources, higher light codes. And that's going into something completely different. What would you say has been like the source of pain in your lives?
I know I shouldn't, but I'd feel bad to feel like my life is any worse or that I've gone through pain, because I know any pain I've gone through is nothing compared to what people are going through now. Nothing at all. I know that's the truth. But if you're asking where this mentality came from, this sort of way about us, the way we feel like this, would definitely be our upbringing. You know, we've always been taught to be free thinkers, to question things. We've been taught about unconditional love from a young age. You know, that's something which was very key in our upbringing, which has helped us. We've, you know, even though our parents broke up when we were younger, we still had them both in our lives, and they've still done their best to have a positive influence on us, even though they've had their differences, which I know is a very hard thing for them. So I think that, you know, whatever pain we've gone through is very minuscule to a lot of people in the world.
I'm just blown away, and I'm sure everyone that's listening to this right now is blown away themselves. Wow. So, guys, I know you're the beatboxer, right? And you're the rapper. And I know that you're going to do a little performance for us today, aren't you guys? What's the name of the song?
I don't think we got a name for this. It's just some lyrics Malachi has been writing recently and something I think he wants to share with you now.
Cool, well, I'm looking forward to hearing it, and I know you guys are looking forward to hearing it too. So, in your own time, guys.
Everything you're hearing is all from the mouth. 100% vocals, yo. It's real from the soul. We fell but we'll grow. The seeds dropped on the earth and did rise to the universe expansion. Let's stop what they are planning. The loved ones in the past and present, a larger message. There's no guns here or metal weapons. Keep your head in the clouds and your feet in the ground. The sound's out the speaker. You can hear this, but try to see it. The universe is growing all the time, like us inside. Or are we falling from miles high? I question the stories in life, and no, the law isn't right. I go flow, wake up, rise and shine. I don't know if you know this, but you are divine. 100%, you spread love with every breath. One zoom, but many a step. Time is not real. Heal the wounds of the world, not rip off her flesh.
Let's take some steps.
Let's take the steps to ensure we can escape from this control. It takes one for it to start, but others for it to last. I'm in a bubble, not a cage. When I'm in bars, indulging in the thing that I love. Rhyme and art, I'm trying hard, but also know on my journey I have to travel afar. We came from the stars. Is there a man in the stars? You only get insight if you ask. It's all inside if you ask me to find who you are. Really looking forward to seeing you up there. Above the mountains, clouds, skies, galaxies, planet seeds blossom and even more happens. Growth from writing. That's enough, man.
Oh, wow. Oh, I have to give them a round of applause for that, because, wow, like... Was that freestyle? Like...
No.
Oh, no. You actually wrote that down. Where's this all coming from? That's what I want to know. It's just out of this world.
Probably, maybe, I don't know. Maybe because of meditation. Maybe, I don't know. But
You know what? Yeah, I think it's positive. It's the influence of positivity. You know, openness. Freedom of expression. Yeah, mixed with spirituality. With that, you know, with that. From source, man, source energy, but influenced by, you know, our life experiences, you know.
My dad never got, because I used to ask my dad loads of questions all the time, every day. So, you know what I mean? I'm surprised he didn't get annoyed by it, but all the time I was asking him questions, all the time. So
Wow.
he's always been patient with us and always told us, if he didn't know, he'd tell us he didn't know, and if he did know, he'd tell us as much as he could about things and be completely honest with us.
Malachi always asks for words, you know, different words. He wants to learn new words all the time, you know. Every day I ask him what this word means, and he's, from a young age, he's been really interested in different words. So that's definitely something which might be, you know, to do with, you know, why he says so many words at once.
Okay, well, lesson to learn for everybody. Ask more questions.
Yeah.
Ask more questions.
You learn more.
You learn more, exactly. And I definitely need to be asking some more questions myself. Guys, is there anyone that you know who you would like to big up right now that's doing great things?
Yeah. Akala, Logic, Low-Key, Big Cakes, whole People's Army, all People's Army, Amy True. There's loads of... What about you?
You guys better be taking note of this.
There's so many people who have helped us, you know, on our journey. You know, obviously I'd say sort of members of our family. People we're working with at the moment. We're working with like a child activist, someone who works for children's rights.
Lucy Mason.
Mason. She just linked up with some primary schools in Newcastle. And we're going to go there and start working with some primary schools there doing.
Yeah, I did actually see something about you guys doing something in Newcastle. Is it something to do with any? Is it filming or? Yeah,
we're working. Like we said, with this woman called Lucy Mason. We're making a documentary. We're helping to make a documentary about the education system. About kind of what we touched upon about you know about what we've learned in schools. We're trying to get opinions from all sorts of young people, different teachers. Older teachers, and just to get like a real insight into what's going on in schools today, and how it's affecting young people. You know, we did some interviews, you know, last week with some kids in reception. You know, some people who've just left school, some people who have problems in school, some people who've had great experiences in school, and we went to a primary school. You know, who's whose head teacher's only been there for 7 months, and he's really trying to push creativity in the children, and he's trying to put more music into the curriculum, and he's under some sort of strain by the, he can feel some sort of strain by the government to kind of keep up with the boxes, the statistics sort of thing, and he really wants to be able to push them freely. So, we want to be able to make some sort of connection there, and, share what we can do with the children, and help him, help him to do the best he can with the constraints he has, upon him. And then again, adopt that across the country to different primary schools, and just push free thinking to young people. We need to, something we need to start as soon as possible. So that's what we've been doing recently in the past week, to try and start making a change in that way as well.
Well, guys, it's been great having you here, and I hope that this show will help you with your mission, your whole journey.
Thank you.
And I just want to say thank you for coming out today. And there's one question that I ask everyone on this show, and it's not exactly the easiest question to answer. But then again, I'm not judging. You might be able to just say, oh, I'll do this, 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 and this. So if the human race was going to be extinct in 24 hours, and it was down to you to stop it from happening, what would you say or do?
Let's all have some fun. I don't know. It's hard because there's so much going on in the world. So there's war, there's happiness, there's
Okay, so we've got let's have some fun. And what about yourself?
That's a crazy question. I mean, if we only, if we've got such a short amount of time, I mean, just, group meditation, but let's just enjoy what we have left. Let's, we're about to go back to source, so let's just, embrace it.
I'd jump out a plane with a parachute.
So that's what he meant by fun, jumping out the plane. And we got his brother talking about let's have a group meditation, and we're all gonna return back to source anyway. These aren't that is not your average answer. And guys, you've been amazing, and I just want to thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Guys, stay tuned for Samuel's Knowledge Corner. And if you guys know of anyone who you feel should be interviewed on New Paradigm, please email me at bentatalks@gmail.com. You can see the email just below your screen. And stay tuned for Benta's Corner. Law of polarity. There are two ends to a pole. You have a left, you have a right. You have an up, you have a down. You have an inside of something, you have an outside of something. You have a fat, you have a skinny. You have tall, you have short. You get the picture. There are always two ends to a pole. It's an infinite law of the universe. So with that in mind, if you have an I can't, by absolute law, you must have an I can. We're not taught this information in school, but it's an absolute law of the universe. There are many infinite degrees in between. Now, if I was to put my foot in hot water and say that's hot, you can put your foot in the same water and say it's not hot enough or it's too cold. Who's to say who's right or wrong? It's just a matter of perspective, right? And don't we get into a lot of arguments about who's right and who's wrong? How many relationships have deteriorated because someone was right or someone was wrong? Who's right? It really does depend on your point of view. But whenever you say I can't, there must by law be an I can. There are no excuses. Like I said in another video, you're one book away from that answer you need. You're one Google search away from that answer you need. Two ends to a pole, infinite degrees in between. Yes, you can do it. We are telling ourselves we can't. We are consistently repeating ourselves and keeping ourselves on the negative end of the polarity scale. What we want to do now is move ourselves to the polarity scale on this side that says I can, the happiness, the wealth, the success. We can do it. We can transmute our energy and learn along the way and get to this side of the equation. Law of polarity. You should do well in studying this subject further, and it will blow your mind, and then you'll understand and come to the awareness of, you know what? Maybe I can. Well, actually, no, it's not maybe. Yes, you can. Why? Because by law, If you say you can't, there must be a way by law that you can. Law of polarity, check it out.